Now to some of the big legal cases that we're following in this week's burden of proof. Federal prosecutors are denying leaking the hotel security video that shows Sean Diddy Combs attacking his then-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, after the Moguls team claimed that officials unlawfully released the footage. This as Diddy's trial date has been set. So let's bring in legal journalist Meghann Cuniff. Meghann, thank you so much for being with us. In a court filing, Diddy's attorney said that the alleged leaks will, quote, taint the jury pool and lead to damaging, prejudicial pretrial publicity. Prosecutors called the accusation baseless and said that the government was not in possession of the video before its publication by CNN. Diddy's team is asking for a hearing and an exploration of evidence. How likely is it that the judge rules in their favor on this? And what happened with the video?
It seems like they're going to need a little bit more evidence or some kind of indication that this did come from the government to get where they need to get. But if the judge does grant an evidentiary hearing, that could get them somewhere. But this just seems like hoping for something that might not quite happen. And I think the government has well refuted it with their statements, but it's still up in the air, and it'll depend on what the judge wants to do with it here.
And so to your point, you're saying they haven't really provided much proof behind their claims that CNN, had this video leaked to them by investigators.
Right. And they would say that's the reason we need an evidentiary hearing is to get to the bottom of this. But it looks like pretty bare bones allegations here that is not backed up by much other than speculation. But obviously they're going for the end game here of they even say in their motion that if something was leaked by the federal government, they want to have that suppressed from the case. And obviously that would be a huge victory if they were able to get this video somehow eliminated as evidence in the case. But I think that is a very, very tall order. I don't envision that happening, but obviously they have a game plan in mind.
Yeah, and I mean, to their point, when that video came out, it certainly did change the conversation for a lot of people. So at this point, Meghann, Diddy's trial date now set for May 5th, 2025. What are you learning about his team's new push for bail? Because obviously they don't want him behind bars that whole time.
Yes, they definitely want him out helping to prepare for trial. And they are petitioning the Second Circuit Court of Appeals, which is above the trial court that has already rejected his bail offer. And they've actually filed something under seal because there's a protective order in this case, which is very common in cases like this, that you would see an order from the judge saying that the discovery that is disclosed to the defense that better not show up on the internet anywhere or be cited in public filings. So it sounds like they have some evidence that they've obtained through the discovery process that they think helps their argument that he is not tampering with witnesses and that he can be trusted to be released and not try to interfere with the case. So they've actually filed their motion with the Second Circuit under seal because apparently they're citing a lot of the discovery that they've gotten. So we don't know their exact arguments, but I do imagine we'll hear an opposition from the United States that could shed some light on it.
And Meghann, to that point, real quick before I let you go, in the social commentary world, people were wondering if maybe that filing that you just mentioned to not have things appear on social media and be released out in public could be a sign of maybe some of the other big names that could be involved. Do you think that there's any reason to believe that?
I think there's more just reason to believe that this is a very common procedure in high-profile cases, but then some people have pointed out that really in not high-profile cases, you would see a protective order like this. So I think the circumstances of Diddy's case makes it all the more important that they would have a protective order, but I don't think it's aimed at protecting the identity of anyone who might be indicted coming up or any kind of co-conspirator, because I do think we're going to be hearing a lot more about that in the coming months.
All right, Meghann, there's so much that we always want to get to with you, but we appreciate you covering this and helping us sift through all of it. Appreciate you, Meghann.